near my Seroquel, which fucked my head way up.
Well, Mr. Hamilton, my job right now today is to not only protect the community or potentially other alleged victims, but also to help you and to ensure that your due process is met. Now, you've mentioned that you're on.
I do not want to hurt nobody.
Okay,
Ever.
well, I appreciate that, sir. Thank you.
Court Uncut, what the people want.
What's to felonize me? I'm no felon.
Hey, gotta be quiet now. We gotta listen.
I see my these are bogus charges.
Hey.
All right, hold on. Okay. All right, so we're on the record now, taking up the case of People of the State of Michigan versus Joshua Hamilton. This is case number 25-13995-FH. Appearances,
He's gonna
please.
crucify me.
Nick Carnes on behalf of the people.
I'm Jeff Harrison. I'm here on behalf of Mr. Hamilton. I recognize Mr. Hamilton appearing by Zoom.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Hamilton joins us via Zoom this morning from the Wexford County Jail. Mr. Hamilton, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, thank
Are
you.
you heard the brother of the judge that was before? Is that
No,
your
sir.
sister?
No.
No, sir. I do not have any. Well, I have a stepsister, and none of my
Yeah, she
brothers
was the
decided
judge
to.
before, wasn't she?
No, sir. No, sir. And,
Well, do you know
none
I have a
okay, hold on. Mr. Hamilton, I just need you to do me a favor, if you would, please. Just don't say anything until I turn to you and ask you a question, okay? I need to get through a few things, and then I'll allow you to speak, okay, sir?
I'm not a criminal.
Okay, sir, I appreciate that. Thank you very much for your time. Just wait a minute. All right, so we are here today for really kind of call it an arraignment or a show cause. I'm sorry, an arraignment on a bench warrant. The defendant has been arrested. This court earlier today ordered a bench warrant to be issued based upon a petition regarding bond filed earlier this morning by Mr. Carnes on behalf of the people. The court has reviewed that. For the purposes of just today, I'll take judicial notice of the attachment behind it. That petition also had attached to it a Michigan State Police Department Incident Report 71-276-25. It has an alleged date of contact with the defendant on Sunday, January 26th of 2005. It consists of 7 pages, which I've reviewed. And again, I'll take judicial notice of the terms or conditions that are listed in it. Now, in this particular file, I think the case has just been recently bound over from the district court up here to circuit court. I don't see a felony information having yet been filed. It looks like it's all still very, very new. Am I right so far, Mr. Carnes?
Yes, sir.
Great. And I don't have a scheduling conference order. And it looks like it's just having been bound over to this court. All right. And this includes a couple charges. It includes a charge of assault with a dangerous weapon, also known as felonious assault, and count 2 of assault, resist, or obstruct a police officer. All right. Mr. Harrison, have you represented the defendant since the case was charged back into the district court?
Indeed, I have, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, Mr. Carnes, why don't you go ahead and summarize for us the police report that I referenced and the reason why you have requested the bench warrant and the bond violation.
Thank you, Your Honor. As part of the bond conditions, there was an order for no assaultive or threatening behavior. And yesterday, early evening, state police responded to defendant's house. Defendant's brother had reported that defendant had punched him in the face while defendant's brother was trying to figure out why defendant was in their mother's room.
Okay. So this case involves the defendant Joshua and his brother Mark and other family members that reside all at the same house.
Don't have anything to add as far as the allegations bringing this matter forward. This is a continual. This potential is a continuing issue. The logical thing would be to simply remove Mr. Hamilton from that home. It's not quite so simple. He suffered a traumatic brain injury several years ago, which has affected him cognitively and psychologically. And he simply cannot, live away from his caretaker mother right now.
And does his mother live at the same residence?
She does indeed. We're aware of the issue. We're aware of the dynamic within the family, and the family has sought a number of remedies such as mental health orders and that sort of thing. And I believe there's one pending right now in front of Judge Ed Van Alst, which may have led to Mr. Hamilton's initial confusion as to your identity, Your Honor.
Is there, what you're talking about there in the probate court, is that for, excuse me, involuntary commission or for?
Indeed, the matter seeks to have him involuntarily committed somewhere. However, this is an option they've explored before with less than satisfactory results. So there aren't a lot of good choices here
Are there
for
any,
everyone involved.
I'm sorry, thank you. Are there any other mental health control issues out there? For instance, has there been a conservatorship, guardianship, things like that?
I believe there's also a guardianship pending, or there was one petition that was filed and denied by the court wherein his mother sought guardianship of him, conservatorship of him. And for whatever the reason, the court did deny that petition.
All right. Now, what can you tell me about the defendant's mental health treatment status? Does he have any diagnoses that I need to be made aware of?
His diagnosis is extensive. The problem is it has elements that are both physical, i.e. cognitive, and psychological in nature. So his initial diagnosis is, it escapes me right now, let me think for a second, a schizophrenic type disorder. The problem is they're not absolutely certain as to what portion of that is organic, like physically caused by the brain injury. So it's been a challenge to treat him.
And is he on any medication?
He is on a multitude of medications right now. Among them is medical marijuana.
One moment. I'm now going to turn over to Mr. Hamilton. Mr. Hamilton, I can see you making gestures. I assume that corrections or someone has turned off the volume. I'm now.
know.
All right, thank you. Mr.
I'm
Hamilton,
trying
I'm
to
gonna.
be good. They overdosed me on my Seroquel, which fucked
Hold
my
on.
head way up.
Well, Mr. Hamilton, my job right now today is to not only protect the community or potentially other alleged victims, but also to help you and to ensure that your due process is met. Now, you've
I do
mentioned that
not
you're
want to
on.
hurt nobody.
Okay,
Ever.
well, I appreciate that, sir. Thank you. You mentioned that you are on Seroquel. Are there any other medications that you are currently taking?
4 of them.
And what are those?
Ativan, Liberal, something for depression, lower my cholesterol, and then I'm
Okay.
on Seroquel.
All right,
Last
all
time
right,
I
thank you.
was here, they gave me 700 milligrams of Seroquel.
Okay, that sounds like a lot. All right, so one moment, sir.
I'm only on 200. Ask my doctor. I told them this.
Okay, all right, thank you, Mr. Hamilton. I have
I
another
don't
question.
need-
Oh, hold on.
It's all messed up.
Okay,
I just
Mr.
want to
Hamilton.
know. I want to tackle them. These are false.
Okay, hold on, Mr. Hamilton, I need you to stop speaking. and just answer my question. Are you currently under treatment with community mental health or another primary care provider?
I have a Rhonda, my caregiver. My mom's my caregiver. My mom's my guardian. She cannot control mental or my money.
Okay.
Them are
All right, all
mine.
right. Okay, all right. Now, hold on, Mr. Hamilton. Is there a doctor or a counselor that you currently see regularly?
Her name's Katie, but my Medicare got denied.
Okay,
She
all right,
said
hold
she
on.
won't see me no more.
Okay,
I
thank you
went
very
to
much.
Katie.
All right, time out. Thank you very much, Mr. Hamilton. It's okay, thank you. I appreciate you quieting down. Thank you very much. I now need to ask the attorney some other questions, so hold on. Thank you. All right. I looked through the file and I don't see any request for a competency evaluation. That can be requested by either one of the council or even sua sponte by the court. I'm somewhat inclined to do that. Now, of course, there could potentially be the issue of criminal responsibility, which we know means also here in the general lexicon is insanity. I don't know if that's something the defense wishes to have an evaluation for. Sometimes attorneys, I tend to think or find they request an evaluation for both. And sometimes that hurts their client because if I get a criminal responsibility of insanity, that doesn't mean the defendant gets released. It doesn't mean the charges get dismissed. It just means that that's a defense that the defense can present once they get to trial, but they can't get to trial if the defendant's incompetent, or they can't enter a plea to a lesser charge if the defendant is still pending his competency evaluation. The delays in processing these evaluations through the state program at the Center for Forensic Psychiatry managed by the Department of Health and Human Services just does not have enough money and does not have enough people to perform necessary evaluations and does not seem to focus enough on mental health. Yeah, and I'm not trying to criticize the employees of those programs who I think are doing the best they can with the limited resources. But I tend to think there needs to be a evaluation. What do you think, Mr. Harrison?
I concur, Your Honor.
And don't take that as me forcing you, because if you know
No,
something, yeah.
that was definitely part of our plan in terms of our initial assessment of the matter. Perhaps some background would again be illustrative of what has occurred here. The district judge did make some baseline inquiries with regard to Mr. Hamilton's ability to identify the various people involved in a case and what their role in the process, and he was able to
Identify them.
Identify those functional aspects of things.
I
don't think it went far enough to determine whether he was able to work
I
in
understand.
his defense.
Assist in his defense.
Yeah.
All right, let me ask, I'm going to turn now back to Mr. Hamilton. Anybody who is there can now turn on the volume again, or the audio.
I went
Mr.
to
Hamilton?
my mom's room.
Oh, time out, Mr. Hamilton.
We'll talk about
I don't
the
want
Time
to
out.
get crucified. I can't have this. I'm not a criminal.
Okay, Mr. Hamilton, I need you to do me a favor right now. And again, it's just going to ask you to answer just my questions, okay? I need you to say yes or no. Can you
Yes.
answer just
I
my? Okay,
understand
thank-
what you're saying. Yes.
all right. Now, Mr. Hamilton, you are charged with 2 crimes. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You know what?
I
the
think
crimes-
they're bogus.
Okay, I
Yeah.
understand that. I've got that.
Felonious
The-
assault and domestic violence.
All right, so hold on. Now, do you understand that you are innocent until proven guilty, and so far you haven't had a trial yet? Do you understand that?
I thought it was. I have
Okay.
a felony. I don't want to be a criminal.
I know you
have
don't.
nothing. 43
All right.
years of my life.
Okay, hold on.
I show up to
Mr.
court.
Okay, Mr.
I don't
Hamilton.
miss one.
All right, Mr. Hamilton, we need to be able to get through this. I've got staff that need to eat lunch, so hold on. And they probably
Eat
need to go
lunch?
to the bathroom, so hold on. Mr. Hamilton, do you understand what
You're
happens
worried
at a
about
trial?
lunch and this is my life?
Trying to make it just a little lighter. Mr. Hamilton, do you understand what happens at a trial?
Yeah,
What happens at a
I
trial,
do.
Mr. Hamilton?
I do know my rights. There will be 12 juries. And I will be convicted of my peer.
All right, and what is
I'm
your
not trying to
attorney?
be mean to you, Judge. I'm not
No, I
trying
know.
to be mean.
Mr. Hamilton, I can only get through this if you just answer the questions that I ask. And I'm just gonna
Okay.
ask you, please bear with me. I
Okay,
may
my
not be the
heart's
smartest.
exploding.
Yep, I got it. So you have a defense attorney. What is your defense attorney's job at a trial, sir?
He's supposed to present me at the best of his knowledge.
All right, good. And what does he get in, what does the prosecutor have to do in a trial, sir?
He's trying to convict me
And how does he do that? What does he do at a trial to
by
try to
the
get you convicted?
evidence, by the evidence. I went to my mom's room. I was being attacked by my brother.
Okay,
see
hold on,
this?
hold on. I
You
can't
see
see
that
it, and I
room?
don't. Okay, Mr. Hamilton. All right. Mr. Hamilton, what is the judge of me, the job at a trial, sir?
You're gonna be my judge, jury, and executioner. When you slam that gavel, the end
No.
is there.
Okay,
I-
well,
I don't want to be a criminal. I know America. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America, under God, indivisible,
Thank
with liberty and justice for all. I graduated high school. I graduated college.
okay, thank you very much, Mr. Hamilton. You may put your arms down, and I'm gonna just mute you for this time. All right, so I can see where who was the judge? I know Judge Audrey was on the file. Did she do those questions? She may have been retired by the time, but I don't know.
It was a similar inquiry, yes,
All right.
it was.
Well,
Judge Abel.
I'm really concerned because if the defendant's on the medications that he has described, which I think I've seen some reference to it here in the file.
Lexapro,
Yeah.
Ativan.
Yeah, and especially when you're talking Seroquel and you're mixing it with Ativan, which I'm not challenging it, but I'm just saying, if he's not on them regularly, and if I saw a reference in that attachment that he might be using marijuana, all those things and mixing those together really give concern to the court. And that could, and again, I'm not challenging what Judge Van Alst did or ruled. It may have been different then than it is today because of how he was on his medication or other things that he's putting into his body. But at least for today's purposes, Mr. Carnes, what do you think? Do you have any position on a competency evaluation?
Your Honor, I would support a competency evaluation.
I think it's prudent.
I really want to make sure that I'm respectful of the defendant's due process rights, and which of course I'm required to do so. And if he is unable to, might be able to sputter out some of the right words, but his ability to assist defense is really very difficult. The court therefore will order a competency evaluation to be conducted by the Center for Forensic Psychiatry, and I will sign that order. Now we need to deal with this issue regarding bond. The allegation of concern here is that there was some act of violence, and is it the same victim?
Yes, Your Honor.
And so they're in the same house, it's the same alleged victim, and it's very similar nature of conduct, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Harrison?
It is absolutely correct.
And I don't take anything that Mr. Harrison says as an admission. Of course, the defense counsel's comment is not an admission. All right.
I simply meant that the allegations are remarkably similar.
So the court will sign the order placing the defendant in the into Center for Forensic Psychiatry for an evaluation. I'm just quite concerned, not only for other people, but the defendant's ability to control his conduct. And respectfully, I'm really concerned about the defendant.
It's a migraine.
Yeah, if he's out there and if he's acting up, is he a danger to himself and others? Well, geez, that's exactly what I'm supposed to consider. Therefore, the court's going to find the defendant in violation of bond. I'll note that the rules of evidence do not necessarily apply. I think Mr. Carnes, I didn't see any other felony charges, any other criminal history?
It looked like an MIP from
Yeah,
25 years ago.
that
was
is
the only
it.
thing I could find.
All right, All right.
Unfortunately for Mr. Hamilton, it's only been lately that he's been experiencing these episodes. That's why
Sure.
it's so frustrating.
and I can understand that. And what the other court does, the probate court does, is quite concerning. And if we need to order him into a facility like a hospital, if Judge Edmund also does so, then of course come right up to me, and I'm more than willing to modify my bond in this case to put him in that hospital.
I appreciate
I would
that.
much rather have him in the care of a hospital, and hopefully the center could take him. If not, I'm worried for him. So, all right, Mr. Hamilton, I know, I'm going to allow you, hold on, Mr. Hamilton. I, again, for the record, have had you muted just because I don't want any interruption. You may unmute the defendant, corrections officers.
Do nothing.
Okay, all right, Mr. Hamilton. Mr. Hamilton,
Please release me to my mom. She's the one, she's my caregiver, she's my guardian. I don't want to stay here.
all
I
right,
don't know
Mr.
what
Hamilton.
to do. My
Okay, Mr.
lawyer
Hamilton.
should be fighting for this. You're
Mr.
gonna
Hamilton?
see.
All right, Mr. Hamilton, I'm just gonna have them mute you again. I need you to listen to me. I can't have you interrupt me. All right, Mr. Hamilton, hold on, I'm very concerned professionally and personally about your health and your mental health, as well as other people. I know that you're talking, Mr. Hamilton, but I can't hear you right now. I need you to listen to me. I'm going to order that you may remain in the jail, and I'm asking and direct, well, I can't tell him what to do, but Mr. Harrison, I trust is going to go talk to your family and try to get you put into a hospital. By God, if we can get you in a hospital, I'd much rather have that occur to help make sure that you are healthy. And then if Mr. Harrison is able to talk to community mental health or other treatment providers, and we're able to get you on the right meds, then that's what I want to see done. And I'll make sure that I do whatever I can in this file to ensure that you are healthy. Anything else today for the record, Mr. Carnes?